And we love Indian food. India is the 7th biggest country in the world, which means that the food ranges so drastically across this entire country. I was not expecting that. Over the next 2.5 weeks, we're going to be exploring a lot of India, and most importantly, we are going to be eating all of the food we possibly can in all the different regions here in India.
If you're new to Indian food, I think this would be a really good introductory dish. There are two kinds of people. People that are foodies and people that are like healthy. He said, we choose to be foodies and that's why our food is so good. That's why Indian food is one of my favorite foods in the world.
Cheers! But we have a lot to eat in this video, so bon appetit!
We want to practice some of our Hindi that we've learned in our 15 days here. So let me get started here. I'm a Goda. She's a Godi. Mera naam Nick.
Mera naam is Sam. Shukriya.
Namaste. That's all we got.
We're going to be starting our time eating the local food in Mumbai, India. We're going to be trying Batata Puri.
This is the samosa, which we've had many times. So the puri puri, we have this mango dipping sauce right here.
And after Mumbai, we're going to make our way to the northern part of India in Kashmir, which we're going to be trying.
We're starting with some Kashmiri tea. This is Afghani chicken.
I got a chicken version of Wazwan, and it's called chicken Rogan Josh. And after Kashmir, we're going to make our way back down to the food capital of the country in Delhi. And in Delhi, we're going to be eating lots of this. Is called a Bedmi Puri.
So the name of this is Gulab Jamun, Chole Bhature.
After Delhi, we're going to make our way to Agra, which is where the Taj Mahal is, where we're going to try local dishes called...
The first one is cheese Puratha, and the second one is chicken Mughlai.
And finally, we are ending our food adventure here in Ramnagar, India. This is where Jim Corbett National Park is, or the Tiger Reserve, otherwise known as.
Ground up black lentils. It was some kind of curry. I don't know, it sounded super interesting. I had never even heard of it, and it's very different than all the other Indian food that we had. I don't know if curry's Hindi, but we've been eating a lot of it, and it's very, very delicious here.
Let's start with Mumbai, India.
We are currently in Mumbai, which is the west coast of India. Well, let's go try some yummy food from this part of this amazing country. We're trying a local dish here in Mumbai called Batata Puri. It's like a fried potato that's filled with potato, onion, garlic, maybe some sauce and seasoning, but you're supposed to eat this all in one bite. Let's do it. It's sweet. I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be like savory, but it's like sweet. Oh, I like that. That's good. There's like yogurt sauce to it, and I guess you're supposed to put the green chutney on top of it to make it extra spicy. Yum.
So this is the samosa, which we've had many times, but this one specifically is from Mumbai, and it has potato in it with the green chutney on there. I'm in heaven. So good. Super savory. The green chutney is like just like beautifulness on top of more beautifulness. And the samosa is like a fried dumpling, but the samosa is super savory with like peas and potato, and the green chutney is coriander, mint, cumin, and it's supposed to be spicy. So because the mangoes are in season right now, puri puri, and it's a mango dipping sauce. So the puri puri, it's a bread similar to chapati, but instead of cooking on the stovetop, they fry it in oil. They fry it on one side, then you flip it over, and you fry the other side, and it bubbles up. And as soon as it bubbles up, they take it out, and that's when you're supposed to eat it. I've waited a little bit too long, and mine's kind of deflated. But we have this mango dipping sauce right here because mangoes are in season right now. Look how orange that is. Look how beautiful that is. And right now, this is a common thing to make at home for your guests. Oh, it's like a sweet and savory dessert. I had to drink this. Just shoot it. Oh my gosh, that's so. Oh. Alright, that was super delicious. We tried some traditional food from this area of India. I'm very excited to eat through the rest of India.
Let's move on to Kashmir, India.
Welcome to the Food of India, where we're going to show you all the foods from the different parts of India that we have eaten. Today we are starting in Kashmir, India, which is a state in northern India. It's near the Himalayas, and we're starting with some Kashmir tea. I was just told that Kashmir tea is, instead of chai, which is made from black tea, Kashmir tea is made from green tea and all these different spices like cardamom, nutmeg, and he said no milk because it kind of looks like a latte. And I asked him if there was milk, because usually in chai you add milk and sugar. He said no milk. They just boil it for a long time, and it's because of the green tea that it makes it lighter, but it seriously tastes like Christmas. I mean, it feels like we're drinking Christmas in this beautiful summertime weather. But right now we're in Kashmir, so let's go drink some Kashmir tea and eat some Kashmir food. So this is Afghani chicken, and it's like grilled chicken with this like herb cream sauce. And that might be the best chicken I've ever had in my entire life. It's like super rich and creamy and flavorful from the chard, and the chicken's like perfectly juicy and perfectly cooked. Cream sauce is like no curry flavor at all. It's more of just like Alfredo-y with a lot of herbs. It might be like a yogurt sauce actually, now that I think about it. But if you're in India, you need to come to Kashmir because it might be the best food in all of India.
A local dish here in Kashmir is a wazwan, and typically it's cooked with mutton. Because I'm not like a huge lamb person, I don't really eat red meat, I cut a chicken version of wazwan, and it's called chicken Rogan Josh. It looks so great. It's kind of like a curry, like a local curry from the northern part of India in Kashmir, and it looks like maybe it has some Kashmir spices. It looks almost like a red curry in like a tomato paste. So, oh my gosh, that is spicy, but I love it. That's exactly what it is. It's like red curry in tomato paste. Woo! It's got a kick. With like lots of fat, maybe ghee, which is like butter, which is the main thing they use here to cook with. That has some big, bold flavors. If you are not a big curry person, I don't recommend, but curry is one of my most favorite foods in the whole world, so I love it.
So we just got to our houseboat on Nijin Lake in Srinagar in northern India in Kashmir, and they just welcomed us with this like Kashmirian tea, and it's very different than the tea that we started with yesterday before our trek. And it's like more of an herbal tea. So the other tea, he was telling us about all the spices that go into it, and it tasted like Christmas. But this one, it's like clear, and it's not milky or anything. It tastes like ginger with like orange and almonds. Like, it's just super delicious. I mean, this is more of like an Asian feeling tea, whereas like what is more popular here is like the chai, which is like the milky looking brown tea, which is super delicious. So we're gonna sit here and enjoy this delicious tea that is very different than any other tea we've had here in India. Cheers.
Next up, Delhi, India.
Delhi is the food capital of India.
And we are so excited to be here because we are ready to eat. There were different streets for different spices and different foods. And I think this street is like the butcher street because we're walking by tons of people that are breaking down like whole animals, and they utilize every single piece. And they utilize every single piece of the animal, which I appreciate a lot.
This is called a Bedmi Puri. And inside there is like a very thin layer of white lentils and cayenne pepper. Like, you can use it to like dip and scoop food onto more like a spoon. With us we have more chole. It's a chickpea curry. It's much more like soupy and brothy, I guess, rather than like the thick curries. The place that we're at right now is called Shiv Mishtan, which is a Jain restaurant. And in the Jain religion, they don't use onions or garlics or any meat. It's strictly vegetarian without onions and garlics. That is very different. Whoa, whoa. I think why that's so different is because of this. This is like a cayenne chip almost. The cayenne pepper makes it really spicy. So it's like a chickpea curry, like a normal chickpea curry with like a very spicy chip to scoop.
So the name of this is Gulab Jamun. So I would say most similar from the outside to a donut soaked in syrup is what it looks like. And in the middle, there is crushed pistachio, which pistachios are my favorite nut. So these desserts just keep on getting better and better. Gulab translates to rose, so we're expecting to get a hint of rose, pistachio. Whoa. Definitely the rose right away. You can definitely taste the rose and then immediately the pistachio. And then you just get like the gooiness just like soaking on your palate. Winner, winner. Whew. All right, I'm almost to my limit. But something interesting that he told us when we were eating was that India has the hottest pepper in the world, and it is still the hottest pepper. It is the ghost pepper. I mean, I knew it was the hottest pepper because I've heard that before and I've seen it, but I did not know it was from India. Maybe that explains why Indian food is so spicy. I think this is the most famous breakfast food here in Delhi, because I've actually read a lot about this and I've been wanting to try it, and it looks so delicious. Chole Bhature. It's called Chole Bhature. The Bhature is the bread, which has cottage cheese on the inside, and then the chole is the chickpea curry, and it's super dark. It's not the like light brown curry. They simmer it with tea liqueur, dried gooseberries, and mango powder. So it just gives it this like super dark flavor. Yeah. Whoa. The flavor of the chickpeas is like it's like a slap in the face. It has so much flavor. This one's just like bam, like in your face, and that is my kind of food. I mean, it is. If you don't like flavor, you're not gonna like this.
The man that's like making the bhatura, was that good? Did I say that right? Okay, I think it was still a little too harsh. But the man that's making it, he was interviewed like recently, and he said that he makes 3,000 of these breads in one 10-hour shift every day, and he is not the only one who makes them. That is like how much they're producing. And he's like clapping the dough, which is so cool. And he does that all day, like 10 hours a day.
Let's try some food in Agra, India.
We're currently in Agra, India, and today we're about to go eat some local food to Agra, so let's go. Then I found this restaurant close to us that has 2 local dishes here in Agra, which Mughlai cuisine is native to this area because of the capital was for the emperor before he moved into Delhi, so he created this cuisine for this area. Kind of has like a stroganoff look to it, and I think off the bat it doesn't look too appetizing, but I imagine it tastes delicious because I think, in my opinion, the worse things look, the better it tastes. Alright, chicken Mughlai. That is super savory, and when I ordered it, he said sweet. So I thought it was gonna be like super sweet, but it's like a mild sweetness, a really creamy texture with ghee, and it has like a stroganoff like flavor to it. Yeah, I think it's like a yogurt base, similar to the Afghani chicken we had. If you're new to Indian food, I think this would be a really good introductory dish because curry can be really intense. This is cheese paratha, stuffed paratha, which you can actually find all over India. We had it in Kashmir, we had it in Delhi, we had it in Mumbai, but I read that stuffed paratha is from this area. I don't know if that's true or not because you can see it everywhere. Maybe it is. If you know for sure, let us know in the comments because I'm actually really curious. But it said specifically stuffed paratha, like cheese or whatever else they put inside of it. So off the bat, it's very different than any other paratha we've had because it tastes like wheat flour. And what makes paratha even better is you just dip it in whatever you're eating and it makes it better.
Next up, Uttarakhand, India.
Sadly, the only thing that we did not get to eat regionally was here in Uttarakhand. Well, actually, the food at our hotel here in Ramnagar is probably some of the best food in India. And I cannot believe that I'm saying that because we're at a hotel, but it's quite delicious here. But everything was like buffet style, and they had different foods from all over India every single day. And we had asked if they could make something specifically from this area of Uttarakhand, and they said they would. I don't think they got around to it, which is totally fine, but we're gonna put some names here of the things that we wanted to try, but we just didn't get to it. But they sounded delicious. One of them was like ground up black lentils. It was some kind of curry. I don't know, it sounded super interesting. I had never even heard of it, and it's very different than all the other Indian food that we had. But if you had it, let us know in the comments if it's like something else. Just let us know. What are your thoughts? My favorites was actually at a restaurant we were at in Srinagar. It was called Afghani chicken, tandoori chicken with this like herb cream sauce, and it was magical. And Sam's was Rogan Josh. So I guess both of our foods that we liked the most were from Kashmir in this beautiful summertime weather. And after we got back from Kashmir, we actually realized there are tons of Kashmiri restaurants all over India. We would have had no idea what that was if we had never gone there. So we are very fortunate that we got to go there, because now we know what Kashmiri food is, and it's quite delicious.
Well, that is a wrap for our India series. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed all the food. We certainly did. Over the last 2.5 weeks, Nick and I have trekked, we have ate, we have seen the Taj Mahal, we've gone on safaris, and just so much more. We hope you enjoyed this series. If you haven't seen all 10 videos, go back and rewatch all 10 videos. Today we are leaving for Nepal. So we have a whole Nepal series coming out starting tomorrow, and we are so excited. But if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can follow our adventures around the world. Like, comment, do all the things that you do on these videos. And until next time, we will see you on the go. Is that what it's called?
In Agra, India. We're about to go eat some Agra.
Wait, do it again. Okay, go.
We're currently in Agra, India, and today we're gonna go eat some local food from Agra, so let's go.
Agra. We are currently in Mumbai, which is the west coast of India, which is, because I'm not like a huge, is mutton lamb? No, sheep.
Mutton is lamb. Today we are in Delhi eating all of the food in the food capital of India. Hope you can hear me because it's crazy here.